Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Wolfman Walsh here, and it is time for another mod series. We are going to be modding what I would consider one of my first steps into the more elite version of knives, because when I first started I knew nothing about knives, materials, the steel, the handle, nothing. And you know, I bought a couple of Smith & Wesson nothing knives at Smoky Mountain Knife Works. I had my Kershaw Shuffle 2, which is still one of my favorite knives to this day for price and size and everything that it can do. However, my first step up into like the next tier of knives was this Civivi Wyvern. Now this one does come with the OD Green FRN handle. It comes in a D2 satin finished blade and a right-sided only titanium pocket clip. There's no way to flip that over. This thing is sweet. Now Enzo did a takedown talk on it 3 years ago. If I remember, I'll try to put a link up here to that. And we absolutely love this knife. It runs on ball bearings, it's very smooth, and the action is just, it's great. So why do I want to change it? Well, I want to mod it or change it to look more like its older, more badass brother. The parent company to Civivi, we had an original one in titanium, and I think S35VN. I don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was. And I'll put a picture up here with some specs on it. But it was just so awesome looking, and it ran for like $400 versus this one was $60. If you can find it now, you can normally find them around $50 brand new. But I really want to try to make it look more like the Wii. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be doing some work on the handle material. If you can see these scales, yeah, very textured, but it's not like aggressive. It doesn't dig or bite into your hand. It's a very comfortable handle. But I'm going to change up the color scheme here, and then I'm actually going to do one of our patent pending acid and brass wash finishes on this blade. I don't really need to do anything to the pocket clip. It is titanium, and it's, I don't know if it's PVD coated or just painted, but it's actually starting to get a little bit of wear on it, and it looks pretty good. The original addition to this knife that I made was just this little whippet tail, because there was no reason for it. This knife fits perfectly in my hand. I didn't need this. It was just for fiddle's sake, and I always said it's a dragon tail, but the little bead that I put on the end is actually like it's a cactus. So Southwest dragon, no, that doesn't really go well together. So we're going to be changing all this up. So stick around, stay tuned, leave us some love in the comments, let us know what you think about this once it gets finished, and yeah, let's get started. Okay, so I've got my Kai little driver set here. We'll start with the T8. I think all these are T8s. Yeah, all of them are T8. We'll start by removing the pocket clip. It's kind of interesting that I bought this based solely on design. I didn't buy it based on knowing anything else about knives. I was like, man, this thing just looks cool, and I wanted to try and seem cooler to Enzo. You know, I try to blame everything on him. You know, he is a good influence, and I was like, man, I want to get something that he'll think is cool, that he'll appreciate. And he actually really ended up digging this knife, so that made me feel pretty good. I don't know why that's still stuck there. Oh wow, those are much longer than I anticipated. Okay, pocket clip is out. Now this is just an FRN handle, 2 screws, and the pivot, and this whole thing will just pop apart. So there we go. There's our fully exploded view. Got everything here. Yeah. So now we're going to take our Sharpie, color in this area, and get ready for our acid wash. Okay, got our setup here. Always precaution, gloves, well ventilated, all that fun stuff. So, kind of 1-to-1 here on our mixture, and I want this dark, so we're going to leave it in there for about a minute, see what she does to the old D2. Okay, be back in 1 minute.
5 minutes later.
Let's see where we're at. Okay. Oh yeah. All right, you may not be able to see it in the light that you're currently in. That is dark. I'm talking dark. Love it. All right, let's get back into some better lighting and take a closer look. All right, so here is our acid washed blade. Look how dark that is. Very interesting enough. The fuller also was in the acid, even though it's a different color. It's a different shade. So that's an interesting effect. I actually kind of dig it. I'm glad it did that. So unexpected. Oh, there you go. Now you can see it. Thank you, auto adjust. Now you can see what happened there. That's a pretty interesting little shimmer and shine we got going on. But now it is time to do that thing we do. I've got my shaker full of soap, water, and our brass casings. We're just going to insert that bad boy right there. Put the lid on, and well, if you've been here before, you know what time it is. Whew, okay, I'm tired. Frothy. Well, okay, be right back. Okay, got some of the water out of there. Woo! Look at that. Dang. Dang, that looks good. It's hard to see on the camera, but I can see it. That looks awesome. I am so proud of how this looks. It's great when you have this idea of like, I'm gonna do something, and it turns out, you know, not looking like crap. Man. All right, well, I think I'm gonna call it done on that for now. I'm not gonna sharpen the blade just yet. I'm gonna wait until we're done. Let's get this reassembled and see what she looks like back together. Okay, wow, look at that. Instant, transformation already. We haven't even done the scales yet. I'm so stoked of how this turned out. Speechless. Typically I'm speechless because I don't know what I'm talking about. I still don't know what I'm talking about. However, this thing just looks sweet. I liked the satin blade, but the brass acid wash just looks even better. Next question. I think I can dip that titanium pocket clip in the brass. Well, let's give it a shot. It did it. It did it. That black coated titanium picked up some of the brass. I'll get some daytime photos so you can really see it pop later, but it did it. I'm in a good mood. That's all, you know what, that's all I can say. I'm in a good mood of how well this is actually turning out. Finish screwing this back in. But why are you putting it together if you're going to do the handles? Because I can't do the handles tonight. I'm married with children. I only have X amount of hours in a day to do things. So this will complete today's tasks, longer tasks. Nice. Yeah, oh, look at that. Nice. And then tilt it just right. Boom. There you go. You can see it on both pocket clip and the blade. Oh man, I can't wait until Friday night and I get to finish this. It'll be 2 seconds for you. It's going to be 2 days for me. So I will see you in 2 days. Time to dye these scales. Right now they're kind of that OD green color. I want them to be pretty dark, pretty much black, as close to it as I can, and then we'll add some, we'll say some layering or texturing, but I'm using the graphite Rit Dye More color. Yeah, thank you, son. All right, now you can see it. That looks great. And there's the handles. More of a darker, shinier green color, not black. I think that turned out phenomenal. So, one more thing that I'm going to do to these, and then we'll assemble and do a final reveal. Hi there. So mistakes were made. I'm going to stand by the mistakes that I made because it gave me an idea for something to do on the next project knife. You know, everything for me is trial and error, and you learn more from your failures than you do from your successes. Successes come because you made mistakes. So I made a mistake. So I have sanded down those handles the best I could, and I'm going to re-dip them. Now, what will that do? I have no idea. Did I completely mess up my Wyvern? Possibly. Am I gonna have to buy another one and re-dip the handle scales again? Maybe. The scales were perfect, and then I tried to add a little copper flare, and I really liked it at first, but once I was done and assembled the knife, I didn't like it at all, and it actually looked awful. So I'm trying to undo what I did before, just buying a new one and starting over, because you can't buy just the scales for that particular knife in that color. Also, fun fact, the OD green has been discontinued and it will never be made again. So right now you can only get it in like green and orange, or not green, or blue and orange. So that doesn't help. So I've been on eBay trying to find someone selling an OD green version, but let's try to fix this mistake first. But then, like I said, it's given me an idea for something I'm going to try on a project knife, a trash knife, in the future. Well, time to try to put an edge back on this thing. It's not completed, it's not done. I really need to try and find some new handles online. It just didn't turn out the way I wanted to, but I am going to go ahead and put an edge back on this, since we did brass and acid wash the blade. So here we go. Alright, well, you can see we do have an edge back on the blade. Just hits just right in the sunlight, you can see it. Alright, so there it is in all its grandeur.
it looks okay. It's not what I was going for. In the near future, if I can find one of the OD Green, English is tough, handles or Wyverns in general for sale on eBay or something, I will probably buy it again and re-dip the handles. I know the measurements that I used because it was 2 different colors. It was graphite and peacock green originally, and I should have just stopped while I was ahead. But does it look awful? No. Should I have not done the bronze tips on the scales? Yeah, I should have left those off. But not bad for my first time. And like I said, every failure is a learning lesson, because now I want to try something else on a trash knife that I have to see what I can do. So, all right, well, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for checking out this mini disaster that turned out okay. Hopefully there will be a follow-up video in the future where I go back and correct this. Oh, also, I did paint some bronze or copper on this C and then sanded it off to where the bronze copper color stayed in the recess around the C. I think that turned out pretty good. I would do that again, where I'll just leave it whenever I get the next one. Anyway, babbling at this point. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for checking out the channel. Please like the video, leave a comment saying how much this sucks and how much I destroyed this wonderful knife, and subscribe for more awesome content of me screwing things up. We appreciate it. Take care.
Mm-hmm.